The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. 93. Here I come again. Hey, watch that. Hey, Delta. Just like 54. Like 54. Bring it. Bring it.
Throwing now is Carr. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A gain there of 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now, 54 Mike. I'm scared. Express. Mike. 54 Mike. Check. White. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Check 4.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Express. What's up? White Monday.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the curve. 29.
Carr. And it's complete to Luke Wilson. And he coughed it up. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
I'm coming. Hey, can't. Gun. Clock. Where's your hot?
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Jahan, 180! 54, Mike, 54. I'm coming up. 50. Gun. Listen to me.
First down. Here's Cousins. And complete right side to Cook.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
6-6. Pull it high. First. No. Check 43.
They go play action. Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
That's the score. Vikings 21, Raiders nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you
don't want to.
We know, but, well, this is taken in. It's complete. 39 yards there, a big one. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Begin. Fight down.
Carr going option right. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Vikings' 46-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got him. Who's right feet? Bang, protein spill. Bang.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Slip. 734.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, high 7. What's up? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. What's the curl? What's the curl?
To throw, it's Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Come on, fellas.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Hey, Raider 2. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Carr now on first down. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jalen Richard, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They start the drive with Cook. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. He'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Land 50.
To throw is Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, they'll come.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. after the sack. Oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
Watch the safety creep. Later one.
And now he'll tuck it and run. Room past the 20. Cuts right. And he cuts it out to the sideline. And he will finally go out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10, clear on the other side of the field. From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Carr now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now it's caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Later 2.
Again, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
50's the mark. I'm here all day. Mark 50, Mark 50, Mark 50.
Now Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Ready, 9. Lucky. Express.
Here's Carr. It's a screen to Richard. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. That right there is what Jalen Richard can bring to this offense. I mean, last year, yes, he had 55 carries, but they used him more as a receiver. He had 68 catches in 2018, which was tied for the team lead. Really adds a nice element to the backfield for Derek Carr and company. Carr now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we got
the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
48. Recon, 132 fighter.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Maurice Hurst busting through to get him for a loss of 6. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Stop your whining. 59 Mike, 59 Mike, check. 300. Wild Bill.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Can't. Hey, Haywood. 59. Yo. Lucky 50. Whip. Pilot, 64. Weak.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. In trouble, and he's taken down. Max Crosby brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The 1st sack of his NFL career. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Cousins to throw it. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Max Crosby in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
7:34. Mike 54. Mike 50. Hey, echo. You rush. Hey, 1-7. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Down to lose one.
Throwing again. Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I guarantee you, it's not very good.
Here's Cousins. It's caught on the right side at Smith. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hey, receiver. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Get that quarterback. Smooth. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Rabbit.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's brought in by Jackson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard
Good route here. Hey, Foxtrot. Such thing as a loss. We take a win.
Cousins again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check. Watch 54. There's a party now. White.
In his own end zone, it's Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that what it's symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Hey, no, easy.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And complete, right side to Cook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cousins now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Raider 9.
Carl try it again on 2nd down. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Carr again. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Carr to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Bring up 48. 6'6", bullet high.
On first down, Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
Interception, baby, all day.
This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Led 50, led 50. Shit. Protein spill.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 76 yards. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw is Carr. Man open left side is Brown. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Carr now on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Brown. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Watch the screen. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. I got him. 694. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey. Wahoo. Here we go, G. Mike's fine.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
In your face.
One final try now for Carr. And the pressure gets to him again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Just like that.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago